Oh yeah. We're doing videos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, build breakdowns.
Only Cars.
Only cars.
We're starting a new channel
Only cars?
called Only Cars. Yeah, subscribe.
Only race cars.
Hey, what's up? This is Brandon from Built2. Today we're going to be interviewing Grant and his Civic. Grant,
What's up, guys? We're out here at Willow Springs today doing a little breakdown of my Civic. So it's a 1993 EJ1. I've had it for a few years now. Been racing for about 4 years. Started off, it's on 17-inch rims, 17 by 10 and 17 by 9.
Did you start off with a K-swap or did you
No,
have
so
a D-series?
originally it was a D-series.
D-series, okay.
D-series mini-me swap, so Vtec head on a D15 block.
Nice.
Made about like 140 horsepower. Pretty good way to start out when you're first racing.
Yep.
Start with a little bit of power and then progress into a K-series.
Did you, out of random, did you swap it out or did you blow the motor?
Yeah, so what happened is I'm always building stuff, and I was trying to build different cold air intakes, and I built this one cold air intake and I bolted it through the bottom of it, and the bolt came loose and it sucked the bolt up into the motor and freaking toasted it. So
it's terrible.
Necessity calls, freaking K24 swap. So
okay. And did you fix that intake issue?
Yeah, so
filtered now?
We've got a much better design.
Nice.
There's no way for a bolt to get in there. So it's completely gutted, stripped everything out, built the cage. It's a 6-point cage with
Was
nice
this your
little
first
bucket
cage?
seat.
Did you do this yourself?
Yeah, this is my first cage I ever built.
This is really clean, dude. It's a nice job. I like how you kept some of that dash though.
Yeah, so I made that out of a piece of aluminum, ran it through the English wheel to give it a little bit of a bow, so that it wouldn't rattle around so much. And then we just got the necessities, you know, oil pressure, oil temperature, water temp.
Yep. That's neat.
So back here we have, this is a firewall for the fuel system. It has a homemade swirl pot and external fuel pump. And this just keeps any fire out of the cabin.
That's good. So safety as well?
Safety first.
Yes, sir.
I deleted the tilt column. That actually saved 9 pounds.
How much weight do you think you saved from doing all this?
These cars stock are around 2,400 pounds. And right now it's sitting at 2,160 pounds without me in it. And that's after adding, you know, cage and bigger wheels, heavier wheels. It also has a full flat floor. So
See if we can get a look at that.
The whole thing is flat underneath.
That's awesome.
And it connects into the diffuser. The diffuser sitting at 12 degrees, so it's kind of an aggressive diffuser.
I like it. It's also an aggressive bumper.
Yeah, aggressive bumper.
People, but
hey,
passive for others.
All the soccer moms love it.
Awesome.
I get the most love from the soccer moms.
Would you say that coming out to the track each and every time, you've learned different things to go
100%,
back
100%.
and do to the car?
Every time is the evolution.
So what inspired flattening the whole underbody?
Basically, I wanted to do a really aggressive diffuser, and to get proper laminar flow across a diffuser, you have to have very good velocity under the car.
Right.
So it was kind of necessity to do the whole flat floor so I could run a 12-degree diffuser.
Okay. But you had the diffuser first, right? And then
I did the diffuser first,
defining it a little bit more and more.
But then I got a little bit of flow separation, but it wasn't terrible.
Do you feel that turbulence just on the straight?
Yeah, so I set it at like 18 degrees and I put little wool tufts on it and ran it down the freeway, and you could feel the drag.
Wow.
But I videotaped it, you could see the tufts, they were spinning around it was fully separating.
Yeah, if you have some of those videos, maybe we'll add it to this.
Okay, yeah. And then I kept dropping it down to 15, 12. I found at 12, it stopped separating. So
got it. That was your sweet spot.
Yeah, 12 is is pretty sweet. I mean, these cars, they're pretty flat from the factory because you have a gas tank that runs kind of right into the rear section, and you don't have a diff, so you could probably get away with 10 degrees, but
no, it looks
so
great.
The car, I've been doing a lot of work with the suspension and the valving of the shocks. It's on full spherical PCI.
Okay.
Lower control arms, front and rear, and Fortune Auto 510 coilovers.
Nice.
And then I've been playing with some spring rates. I was 16K, 14K. Now I'm 14 in the rear, 16 in the front.
Got it.
With helper springs to help get that down travel, which seems to really help. Today I actually PB'd, so we ran a 21.9.
21.9
at Streets of Willow.
What did you start off with? Do you remember when you had the first case, when you first case swapped?
So when I first case swapped it, I think I was doing 28s, 29s.
And is that roughly the same power that you have now?
Same power, yeah, same power.
So just all these other tweaks, so it's not always about power, it's about
driver mod. Being on the sim, I recently built a sim, which I noticed it helps, like, because you're at home greasing every day, and you come out to the track, and like
it's muscle memory, and then I assume you probably put yourself in that position where you're imagining your car in there, right?
Yep.
How it would handle.
And it helps with managing cars around you. So when you're, racing out here at HPDE, you're not like wheel to wheel, so you can you don't really get the feel for like being really aggressive and defensive driving and running through all those kind of scenarios.
You can run those risks in the sim.
On the sim,
so you know how to react.
Yep, holding people off, and
so that's the beauty of it, right? When you come out to the track, there's people that are first timers. There are people that have been doing it for years. Some are aggressive by choice, and some by not by choice. And so you have to figure out how to maneuver around that. And so to be able to PB on a was it 121.9?
121.9. I've come a long way. So this year I started at 126. Okay. I was running 126s for a while, and then I got into the 24s. And I was kind of stuck in the 24s. Yeah. Doing 24s, and just these past couple sessions, I've been really dropping that time down, which is it's good to see because this car is capable of it. It's just whether I'm capable of it.
255s in the back, you said?
Yeah. So right now I'm just running 255s. They don't really. I like running a stagger setup usually, but I had these laying around.
Well, it's always nice to have spare tires laying around.
For next season, I'm running 275 in the front and then probably the 255 in the rear.
Yeah, you don't see too many Civics running 17s like this. So.
Yeah, 17 by 10s. Not easy to fit. I actually, you have to run a wheel spacer because it hits the knuckle, and then you have to run steering limiters because it runs into the frame, and then of course I built this fender flare to try to, cover these freaking massive tires.
Now, did you fit these wheels and brakes on with the 93 knuckles and stuff like that, or?
So these knuckles are actually off a 2000 SI.
Okay.
Just
didn't know if we were gatekeeping here, or if we want to share the knowledge.
No, so my old brake setup, it used to be a 2000 SI swap. You swap the knuckle and the brake, and you get slightly larger caliper and a larger rotor.
6 pistons here.
And those were kind of. I had to run the most aggressive pad, and I would crack rotors in 2 sessions. Wow. So, and the brake feel wasn't all there. It was pretty, like, a lot of brake travel, but it worked for this car and these wheels. So.
Sure. I'm sure that goes into the psyche too, right? With your timing, is not wanting to push it to the limit because you think you might crap out on those brakes.
Yeah, the brakes were an issue. So I'm running boosterless, which is, I highly suggest running boosterless.
Boosterless, okay.
You get much better brake feel, and the heel and toe is much easier.
Do you mind popping the hood? Let's get into that. Nothing says Honda like that red, dude.
Yeah, that's Honda awesome. Red, Racer red. So.
Okay, so you say you're going boosterless.
Boosterless, wheelwood boosterless, chase bay. Highly suggest it. The only thing better would be a dual master, because it's a little sketch if you lose your brakes. You only have one master. But
so it's probably in the plans in the future, maybe?
Yeah, it's in the plans. There's a company in Europe that makes a dual master that bolts onto your firewall. So you have two masters sitting here and you have the same pedal setup.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So it's just a bolt on, and it's like $300.
Okay.
But I've been trying to shave weight out of the car. I just did the carbon headlights. This saved about, I think it was like 12 pounds.
Wow.
Just getting rid of the headlights.
Then you went ahead and you also barred up this front.
Yeah, so when I first started running the car, the whole front of the car was actually breaking off. So it's notorious on these Hondas, this internal frame rail, they crack right here. And when you'd go around the corner, it would be all over the place.
Okay.
So I ran a tube from the frame rail up, down along the door and welded it all in. And then I actually cut the whole front of the car off at the frame and did a tube front.
I feel like doing that too, you also added more rigidity, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah. And more space for activities.
Hey, you can run AC here too.
I don't know about that. I got the intake in the way. But yeah, it's just a half core radiator.
Is that 3.5 inch?
It's a 3-core.
Okay.
Radiator, but it seems to be working in the heat of the summer, especially with the flat floor. I noticed it's slightly overheating, but
you just a cool down session and then you can go back out there, right?
Yeah, no, it runs like 225 at the most, 230, which isn't bad.
So this is the K24 as well?
K24 is pretty much stock. It just has a ported intake manifold, and then the Type S oil pump, and then it's a RSX Type S 6-speed tranny with the M Factory differential.
Nice. And then what kind of headers you got? Just
these are 1320 off eBay, actually.
Oh, 1320s?
Yeah, they're cheap, but the thing with these headers is you get them and they're warped. So I had to resurface the manifold to get it flat. So it was like a 16th warped.
Yeah.
So I just sat there with a grinder and resurfaced it by hand, and it seals up fine.
Well, you got all the tools for it, right? You're a fabricator.
Yeah. Fabricator by trade. Yep. So this is kind of like my passion project.
No, it really is. It shows over time the knowledge that you've learned and how you put things together.
Yep.
Which in this case, it seems like it's trials and tribulations, and then you just learn how to make things better. So this is
another
awesome.
big thing with these K series. This bracket always breaks. So this bolt that comes in at the bottom, it broke and it stripped out 3 times. So I cut this bracket up, added these tabs, and then added this support bar. And it seems to be holding, but I've broken alternators. That's a big headache on these cars.
You might have to make a couple copies of these, man.
Yeah, that's a
really
one-off.
How much power are you making?
So it made 282 at church.
Okay, mostly stock.
Yeah, I mean, church has the Miracle dyno, so
I
don't know how much you can trust that number. But
I mean, if you're getting over 220.
Yeah, over 220 is pretty cool.
So this is great.
But yeah, I think the secret in these cars is just seat time.
Yeah. Did you make this as well?
Yeah, so a little catch can.
Nice.
Just simple piece of intake tubing, welded it up. Pretty basic setup, like as far as it goes.
Cool, man. I'm gonna do a little walk around here and we can wrap it up. We're out here at Streets of Willow today. You gotta have a second seat though.
Yeah.
Counterbalance, man.
That weight savings though, that's 28 pounds. Like,
A ride along would be nice. Maybe I'll just hang on to the.
No, I had a second seat in there, but freaking Omar over here kept eating me. So you got to do what you got to do.
Understood. Well, I appreciate it, Grant. Thank you for taking this time here and talking with us today.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to seeing you improve your time.
Yeah, that sub 20.
Yeah,
that sub 20 is coming. Hopefully. Okay. Hopefully 2025 sub 20.
You think you'll ever go boost?
Possibly. I was thinking about it.
Okay.
Either small turbo or, you know, try to build the motor, put a cam in it.
Okay. Copy.
Try to get like 340 would be really cool.
Nice.
Like, that'd be like the sweet spot. But
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Well, it's good seeing you.
Yeah, we'll talk again soon. We'll see what updates you do next.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.